Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Like a Plays video. Today we are going to be doing the support card tier list. Guys, just like the previous video, which you would have seen, I assume yesterday, the support card tier list is going to work the exact same. So we are going to go from 50 to 65 to 100, and then rate the support cards based on how good they are, depending on the level. So, at level 50, as you can see, these are support cards that I really recommend you go and use. This Kunisagi support card has been meta from day one, and guess what? As of the day I'm making this video, this actually just got buffed. So now, on a practice match, you can now receive 2 extra turn generation, which makes it very, very, very good. It was already a really good card, and it already had some of the best stats on there. Now it's giving turn generation at level 50, you know, so we can't mock it. It's just a phenomenal card. So Kunisagi definitely getting where it needs to be. Go watch the previous tier lists if you want more sort of breakdowns. We do sort of explain this card in more detail there. The Rin card, exactly the same story as Kunisagi. It's sitting on the OP tier because, again, it's got turn generation. When you trigger the event 5-3, it not only gives you defensive DF, what's it called, the compatibility, it also gives you 3 turns now, which is phenomenal. Guys, if you haven't already guessed, turn generation is the meta. The more turns you could generate, the better. You could get up to 10 per phase, so, you know, in total, you can actually generate up to 50 turns, but, I mean, we're nowhere near that level yet. We will get to that point where we can generate 50 turns, and training's gone for a while, but right now, just getting an extra 5, 6, 7 turns is going to give you a huge boost in your power. So, both of these cards, absolutely fantastic, and the last card that got buffed today was actually this card here, the kit card. Now comes with turn generation, and guess what? This card was already up in the S tier. If you look at my previous tier list, all 3 of these cards were up in the S tier before, and now with turn generation, they definitely go into their OP tier. It's just got the right stats in the right spaces. Super good. Now, the other 2 cards are new, so we've never talked about these on a tier list before, but both of them come with, again, that magic word, turn generation. So we're going to be making, you know, additional turns. These cards, by the way, stay meta to 100. Spoiler warning, these are still meta. So it doesn't matter if you're level 50, it doesn't matter if you're level 100. The only thing that changes is the cards that are offered. The abilities on all of these are going to stay the same. So those turns are coming no matter what. Now, looking down the S tier, we've got the new support card. We've got a bunch of other support cards, the Anri card. Now, all of these cards are really, really solid. Of course, if you can go with the OP tier, go with the OP tier. It's like, for example, if you're building like kick support or whatever, you're going to want to pick up, for example, this one here. You might want to also bring along Battlefield and maybe this card. And there you go. There's your kick comp. I'm not saying when you're training kick, you should only take the first 3 cards or anything like that. Absolutely not. So try and play it smart as well while you're doing these team comps. The Anri card's always been a meta and a staple. The fact that it can just generate Awakenings is really, really good. Same with this card here, it generates Awakenings. Same with this card here, generates Awakenings. So you've just got a bunch of Awakenings here. Now, this card is good because it does have turn generation. You could say, oh, why is it not up with the rest? It probably could be up with the rest. I've put it further down, but the truth is, I just think it's worse off than those ones. But at the same time, it's probably good enough to be there. Again, turn generation being that key word. And as you go further down, these cards haven't really changed from the previous tier list, so I would go and implore you go check that out. But what it is we're looking for things like the trifecta. Do they have special rate up? Do they have lecture rate? Do they have bonus? And if so, what the numbers are. And at level 50, I'd say this is sort of your go-to for the tier list. I mean, if you have different ideas, you can always, you know, float them over to me and let me know why I'm wrong. But right, 65. So following the same I guess, you know, path, well, the only thing that changes here is we unlock 1 more passive for each of these cards, and we unlock 1, well, potentially black card, right? So a lot of these cards don't really change too much. The Gagamaru card does get better because it does get bonus, but most of these other cards get to stay the same. This movie Naki card actually moves up a bit. The movie Reo card moves up a bit. But for the most part, everything else sort of stays the same. Turn generation being the most important thing. I don't think there's too much to talk about here because the difference between this and this is so minuscule. So it's only really the Gagamaru card moving up and then the movie cards moving up by 1. So that is it. But if you're free to play, you should be about this level now. So yeah, keep an eye on these OP cards. Keep working on them. They're still very, very good. If you are going to be using your guild coins, maybe it's worth working on the ego card over, say, the other ones, because that still has some really cool cards attached to it. These don't have as many cool cards. Like, it doesn't have a black-red, doesn't have a black-purple, doesn't have a white card, for example. So maybe still prioritize, maybe it's worth sort of moving these up a bit. Right. And the last one is going to be the level 100 tier list. Guys, I know the level 100 tier list changes things a lot. So the reason this card is still top is because it still sits at that 120, that mythical 120 that we've not seen on any other card. It's just so good. With it, your training does go to the next level. You just see huge numbers, especially if you're training speed. You're going to be seeing massive numbers with it, so it's just a no-brainer. You have to have it. Now, the other two cards are phenomenal, and again, you're going to say, well, why have the other cards dropped but these two have stayed? It's the cards that they have attached to them. It's the platinum card, the white card, whatever you want to call it. It's the black purples that they offer, which is more turn generation, or the black reds, or whatever it is that they offer. They offer some phenomenal cards, and therefore, when you're getting ×5 multipliers on cards, it's value. It's just value. So the OP card tier list does change a little bit, as you can see. Kunisagi is still a fantastic card, although I think if you're at level 100, maybe it's a card you can think about dropping now. It's sort of less good. Same with the Rin card. This card I get a lot of usage out of because I love hitting special breaks, and I just want to give it a shout out. Special breaks are really powerful. The new speed card is also really good. It's sort of guaranteeing you at least one awakening, if not potentially two. It kind of is really strong as well. But the other turn generation cards, like this one, get to sort of stay where they are. They don't get too weak. I think it stays pretty strong. You could probably argue this Anri card could be moved up to S because the cards it offers, but I'm going to keep it there. And Battlefield, you could say maybe it doesn't deserve to be here either, but the truth is it offers you Fierce Demon shots, which is really, really valuable. Some might even say it's actually worthy of going up one. But right now, I would say that is where you're at. Guys, if you're sort of working with any of the C tiers or D tiers, I would really, really implore you don't. As a free SSR, just a massive shout out to this Raichi SSR. This could easily be in the B tier. It's such a good SSR in comparison to like some of the paid SSRs that we have. This is still a phenomenal SSR, and we got this for free. So this was like a huge steal. Every other free SSR has been absolutely terrible. So just a heads up, if you are using the Raichi SSR, fair enough, like it is a good SSR. Other than that, boys, that is probably where I want to sort of finish this up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as well, because I think it's important that we, share this knowledge and you guys sort of battle it out. I mean, if you look at my previous tier list, you would see cards like this Nagi slightly higher up. I think, again, with the new special cards that have come out, it's slightly dropped, worth noting that. But I already have a feeling some of you are going to be like, well, this Anri should be slightly higher. I feel like some of you might say this Gagamaru should be slightly higher, we'll see. Or I know a lot of you like this Loki card, so I could see maybe some of you wanted to move that up. But this is where I think things go. Let me know in the comment section below, as I said, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.